Hello everyone, this is Ippe and now we are back in Angels with Scaly Wings. Last time we forgot to check out the gallery, as we have new pictures of Bruce and John. Now it's time to go and see Lorem. We certainly haven't seen Lorem in a long while.
There you are, come in.
Sir,
Honestly, I can't believe you agreed to do this again.
don't mention it, it's my pleasure, I don't believe it either. It's my pleasure.
Now that I've had a chance to work through everything from the last time, we can do some real work.
Sounds great.
I did a staggering amount of research on mythical humans. Here, let me show you some of the stuff I found.
Sir. We sat down at the coffee table. Lorem opened up a laptop and started to type away. See, the laptop brought back memories. In our world, they had become obsolete a long time ago.
Before I show you these images, I should probably tell you that some of them are really weird. Just don't take them the wrong way.
You already told me about the four-headed human, so I think I can handle this.
Alright.
That doesn't look very human to me. He looks friendly, he looks attractive. Well, there was this human-like figure, so I guess it looks somewhat. But I'm not sure about these. I'm not sure if that was really friendly or attractive. But let's choose that he looks friendly.
This one is supposed to be one of our ancestors.
Ancestors? Well, it does remind me of some of the dragons I've seen here, but I'm not sure what humans have to do with this.
You remember the myth about our creator turning into a dragon, right?
I don't think I've heard that one before yet. But I think I remember, because you remember Remy at the library? He told about that, if I recall right.
Now here's an interesting question. What species did that human turn into? There are a number of dragon species nowadays that are genetically compatible with each other. Did the human choose one of them? Did they perhaps procreate? A shared ancestor is one option. This would mean that the different species split after the human's involvement in our creation. If human DNA was involved in some way, this might explain how our different species came to be. If our ancestor of ours and apply various amounts of human DNA, the result would be a number of different species, each with a different amount of resemblance to humans.
Okay, this is getting weird, interesting. I think I find this really interesting.
Now it has been said that an upright stance and being able to walk on two legs is a more human trait.
Right, most humans walk on two legs, so that's true. I'm not sure that I agree with that. Right?
In any case, it's one of the things that makes humans unique. As a result, some people believe that certain species share more traits with humans than others. They think it makes them more noble, or something. Luckily, this doesn't happen often.
You can walk on two legs as well, right?
Sir, in this area of shared human DNA, this puts me somewhere in the middle, since I still have wings and horns.
I can see that.
Here, look at this one.
I wouldn't want to live in the same town as this fellow. I'm not sure if this is much closer than the previous one. What's with the little horns? What is with the little horns?
Since we don't know what the original human looked like, we can exactly define which traits separate us from them. As a result, our interpretations of humans can vary widely.
I'm not sure he's a particularly friendly one, though.
Actually, I think this is supposed to be a human female.
Interesting.
There are some that don't think humans are friendly at all, though.
Really? So far I've only heard positive things about us.
Some interpretations of our myths don't exactly paint you in best light. There are also people who push the idea of human worship and what their involvement has meant for us.
In what way?
They say the human interference
Human interference?
is unnatural and that we need to get back to our roots.
And how do they think they can do that?
Apparently, it means refusing to use modern technology and live in a cave or the wilderness again.
Like an animal?
Pretty much. Most of us think those people are crazy, though.
They sound like fun for sure. I see, as long as they aren't hurting anyone. I see.
They're harmless, really. You probably won't see one of them around here anyway.
This is an interesting start, though. Do you know how these pictures were made?
No, I saw that information was provided and when I looked them up in the library. But I didn't copy all of that.
And you're using these as references?
I make do with what I can get. Maybe now you can see why I wanted your help, though.
Alright, what do you need me to do?
I just want to make some quick sketches. You can stand over there by the wall.
Okay, I can certainly do that. I walked up to the spot he indicated. When I took my place, I saw that he had laid out a number of pens, paper, and other art supplies on the table. Oh, this is going to take a while, isn't it?
I'll try to be quick about it.
Do you want me to strike a pose or something?
A T-pose should be good to get started.
What's that?
Just point your arm sideways, so you look like a giant T.
Oh, I get it. Raising my arms to the sides, I wondered how long this would take.
Great! Now to try staying as still as possible.
I'll draw. I'm already regretting this. Can I still draw?
I'll try.
As I wasn't allowed to move my head, I stared at Lorem sketching my figure. This went on for a few minutes until I suddenly heard the sound of a door opening. I remember this one. This one was one of the witnesses we talked to. Hey, Lorem. Alright, the human was going to visit today. I totally forgot about that. You don't mind if I take a seat, right?
You just want to study, Ippe.
Like you aren't doing that right now. Besides, this room is mine as much as it's yours. I'll just watch and be quiet.
I thought you had experiments to run.
That they are running. I'd rather not be confined to my tiny room for the next 2 hours staring at the ceiling and waiting for them to finish.
But no experiments on Ippe.
Yes, I'll just sit here. and maybe take a few notes.
I'm sorry, Ippe. This is my roommate, a long-time best friend, Ipsum.
Ipsum, Ips. How is that pronounced? I'll just say Ipsum. Nice to meet you, Ipsum.
The scientific blunders may be off-putting, so please bear with him.
Speak for yourself. So much for those two being best friends. Lorem returned to his drawing, the silence only being interrupted by the stroke of his pen. Something interesting happened at work today.
Did they finally figure out it was you who was playing all those pranks?
Oh, they'll never catch me. I was talking with a colleague about the humans here and I offhandedly mentioned that Ippe was going to come over.
I don't like where this is going.
Some hours later, when a barges into my office and says Ippe is off limits to anyone besides her as far as tests and experiments are concerned.
Well, I would take any samples. I could hardly be blamed for just looking at Ippe.
Yes, but that makes me wonder. Ippe, did you agree to visit her and undergo her rigorous testing regimen, whatever? I did not, really, certainly not. I have been there. Oh, good luck to you then. Oh, and Lorem, have you seen my Iceman sphere recently?
Didn't you take it with you when we went to the park the other day?
Yes, I did.
Well, that's the last time I saw it.
I must have lost it then. I already searched the full apartment.
Did you go into my room?
No.
Maybe someone found it.
I had it registered in my name when I got it, so if anyone found it, it should show up sooner or later. What is an Iceman sphere anyway?
It's just a glorified toy for grown-ups, really.
You have no idea what you are talking about. An Iceman sphere is a very sophisticated tool with a countless number of uses. Like what? It can levitate and follow you around and take photos. You can even use it as a calculator.
Make it a glorified toy for grown-ups.
I use it for my experiments. Well, if they can take photos, I wouldn't need to stand around like this. That is, if we had it here now. It is a great companion for all situations in life.
It's much easier to draw from a live model than from a photo, though.
Easier for you, maybe. I hope this doesn't take much longer, because my arms went numb a while ago.
Yeah, I think you can relax for now. I'm nearly done with this one.
A tingling sensation wet my arms as I relaxed. Without my arms as I relaxed, slowly I began to regain feeling in them.
Alright, now turn around.
I thought we were done already.
Not unless we want our humans to like a backside.
So that's what it's all about.
You know what I mean.
I know exactly what you mean. Isn't it my turn to draw you now?
That's not how it works.
I wouldn't mind getting bored with it myself. I can already see the light shining from above, caressing my Lucia's mane, highlighting its darkest day interplay.
This is going to be a long day.
That depends on how fast we are. As I was now facing the wall, I couldn't see what Lorem and Ipsum were doing. After a few seconds of silence, I heard some whispering coming from the couch. What are you talking about? I didn't want to be rude. I was just curious about your vestments.
He said I like yours. This would be more interesting if it comes about those clothes Ippe is wearing.
Really? I see how it is. Coming here was a very bad idea. Really? I'm just saying it would be hard to study an insect if there was a piece of cloth draped over it. Wearing that much just seems up to me.
If humans wear clothes like this, it's inappropriate to depict them as such.
And my scientific curiosity shall remain unsatisfied.
Because Ippe is not here to do that, and you would get in big trouble with Anna.
We actually have a pretty big variety of vestments. I could tell you about it.
Sounds good, but not right now. I had to finish this up first.
Alright. So, Ipsum, I've heard a lot about experiments and science now, but what do you actually do? I work in the facility as a biologist with minor in physics. In addition to the office, I also have my own setup here at home. I assure you, it's properly isolated from the rest of our apartment. It even has a few food to prevent accidents. But I only use it for the smallest of experiments, usually things unrelated to my job. Sounds boring, okay, sounds interesting. Sounds interesting. Well, Lorem and Ippe have their own things and they certainly are really into what they are doing.
Don't get me started, or you won't hear the end of it.
Maybe you want to talk about your hobby instead, Lorem. Isn't this already a hobby?
I guess you could say so.
I was talking about this other hobby though.
Oh, that? I don't know, it's a little embarrassing to be honest.
There's no need to be embarrassed about your hobbies. He likes flowers. Once he even made a crown out of daisies. You're just doing it to me.
Don't listen to him. As usual, he only tells half the story.
What's the other half then?
I have an extensive love for botany.
The fern he keeps in his room must be the happiest plant alive.
I find gardening to be very relaxing, especially when the birds are singing in the morning. It's so nice to go out there with a nice cup of tea and work at the garden for our apartment building.
Work at the garden of our apartment building?
Which reminds me, Ippe here has quite an extensive tea collection, although I'm not sure if he prefers to hoard tea or gadgets. It's a mystery.
I heard there was going to be a model of the Axeman sphere that can actually make tea. That's going to be a must-have.
Can it also make cups, or are you supposed to sip it out of the sphere itself?
Don't be silly. You two sound just like an old couple.
Couple? Us?
Not really.
We've known each other for a long time though, if that counts.
I think it does. By the way, Ippe, you're not from here, right? What is that supposed to mean? Well, you look nothing like any other dragon I've seen here so far. I suppose that's true for Lorem as well. They're both pretty small. But you, Ippe, have have hair. That's certainly new. It's not as unusual as you might think, but you're right. There aren't many of us in these parts. I imagine being smaller than the rest of the population would come with its own challenges.
It's not that big of a deal. If something is unreachable to me, for me, I can fly.
This apartment was actually intended to house one dragon of a bigger size. That not only makes it fairly cheap, but it's also big enough for both of us. There's one thing I've been wondering. How do you even sit in one of those chairs? Wouldn't the backrest cause problems with your tails?
I see what you mean. For me it's never been a problem because more chairs are bigger than I am.
It's just a question of getting into the right position. However, this might be different from those of us who mostly walk on four legs, but they usually don't use chairs like these at all.
I've seen a few try, though.
I suppose they want to imitate humans this way. Even if they can't stand or walk like a human, they can try to sit like one.
With varying results. Some I've seen look really funny, trying to fit in chairs they are too big for, or sitting in odd ways that really don't work with their anatomy.
I see. Lorem, you asked me about breath weapons last time, but I don't think you ever told me if you had one. Probably because it isn't worth mentioning.
It may only be a very small flame, but it can get very hot.
What about you, Ippe?
Yes, Ippe, what about you?
My breath weapon is elocution, since words are more powerful than anything else.
So same as mine then, okay. So same as mine, okay. Okay. Alright, I'm done with this one. You can turn around. Really, but staring at the wall was so much fun. Does this mean we're done? So let's make one more. Maybe something dynamic.
How dynamic are we talking about?
Something that isn't static, like the reference models I just did.
Static? Static? Whatever.
You can strike a pose, something that's just you.
Alright. What kind of pose should I go for? The normal pose and thoughtful pose is swim reference. Yeah, right. Thoughtful pose, that sounds too good. Alright, what about this?
Works for me.
By the way, did you get the groceries when you came home from work?
Yes, just as usual.
Are you too sure you're not in a relationship? I certainly am.
Actually, Ippe is deeply in love with his home laboratory.
Oh, oh, really? I'm not even going to deny that. When I'm not working on something at the office, I do so here. What are you currently working on?
I've been looking into the physics of teleportation.
You're talking about the portal, right? Well, I don't have permission to even approach the portal, so I had to resort to a theoretical discussion on its mechanics and make do with what I can pull off in my home laboratory. Maybe I could tell you a few things.
That wouldn't be necessary.
I have already read all the available test reports.
Okay.
Are you aware that this portal could be incredibly dangerous? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Then you don't have a complete understanding of what the portal actually does and what it means for our world at large. In order for a portal to function, a natural wormhole is required. It is the ramp that becomes the portal's entry. The portal manipulates the wormhole's exit. This way, something can be sent to whichever destination is chosen. Now there is a theory about the purpose of the natural wormholes in the universe. It states that they act as the support pillars of the space-time continuum. How so? How should I explain this?
I think the video game analogy works pretty well.
Sir, in a video game, what happens when you meet the edge of a map? You hit a wall?
That happens in some games, but others,
you reappear on the opposite side.
Right.
How does this happen? If our world was a perfect sphere,
someone could just keep flying the same direction and eventually they would end up at the starting point again.
Sir, this is just a result of physics. In the abstraction of the video game, however, it doesn't work like that. They don't try to replicate a spherical world, but use a 2D plane instead. This is getting confusing. Not really, I think. Imagine a piece of paper with a world map printed on it. Right? While it shows the entirety of the world, it's still just a simple flat piece of paper rather than a sphere, right? Sir? Let us assume that in a game, our world map looks like that. Now, what happens when we approach the edge and walk over it is that we are teleported to the opposite side. Okay. This doesn't actually make the game world a sphere, but rather a torus. A torus?
You know, like a donut.
Donuts are tasty. If that's the comparison you want to make. Okay. Now things are going to get really complicated. Are you familiar with the many words interpretation of quantum mechanics? Let's say I'm not. It states that every single time a choice is made by any actor that possesses free will, the universe splits off into different branches. This means that for every choice you have made, there exists a branch of the universe where you made a different decision. I see. No, we can't communicate with these other branches in any way. You don't know what would happen if you had made a different decision just this morning. You could make an educated guess, but the only person who truly knows what would happen is that alternate you who has made that decision and is living its consequences. That is, unless we could communicate with those other branches. However, there's a barrier that prevents us from doing that. This barrier is made up of wormholes. How does that work? It is very similar to the torus world model that is used in games. As we approach the edge of our own world, the barrier causes us to end up on the other side instead. Does this mean we get teleported to the other side like video games? Not necessarily. It would be just as correct to assume that our universe is shaped is shaped like a torus. So which is it then? Do we get teleported or not? That depends on how you look at the wormhole's function. Imagine the sheet of paper as the entirety of our world. He took a sheet of paper from Lorem's stack and showed it to me, marking a spot near the edge with a pen. And this is where you live. Unfortunately, your workplace is here on the other side. He drew an X close to the right edge of the paper. If the world was flat, this would be very unfortunate. However, if the world was a torus, the left and right edges would be connected. You can take the shorter route to work by going over the edge. Now let's say that this is only possible because wormholes connect these two edges together. If you happen to be right at the very edge and look beyond, everything will look perfectly fine to you. Given that these wormholes stay in their place, you would never know that the world is actually flat and that you can only travel to the other side because the wormholes connect the edges. You would think that the world is the torus, right? However, what if the wormholes don't actually bring you to the other side by teleporting you? What if I just bend the paper into the torus shape and hold the edges together? If these wormholes failed over this place, the paper would unfold, throwing the world into disarray. That's what the wormholes at the barrier actually do. They are what hold everything together. So they're really more like glue. If it wasn't for them, the world construct would collapse in on itself. What construct? The entirety of space-time. Now it is still resort rule, that would mean using a portal damages. The barrier. Each time the portal is activated, the wormhole used for teleportation is displaced, leaving a small gap where it used to be. Do this too often and the overall system will destabilize. Eventually. Alright, maybe you shouldn't talk about your theories and how the world is going to end. Nothing is going to happen because the portal was used a few times. I just hope humanity is aware of its implications. Maybe we can collaborate. I certainly hope so. Your researchers seem to know what they are doing. I just wish I could be a part of it. With everything that's going on, the future looks incredibly exciting. Existing? Did I really say that? I think I did. What do you think is going to happen, Ippe? Now you're getting started. Don't say I didn't warn you. Technology competitivity of PDAs could propel innovation forward by young seedlings. Meaning a lot more experiments for you to do. Which will be terribly exciting. Personally, I'm more interested in social implications. What do you mean? I don't expect there to just be a back and forth with ambassadors forever. Are you talking about colonies? Oh, I bet Lorem would jump at the opportunity to live in the human world. I'm not sure if that would be a good idea. Why not? Obviously, such an endeavor would need a lot of preparation. We would need to learn about their culture and adjust appropriately. I'd expect we'd send an ambassador over there long before that will happen though. We hardly know anything about their world. Everything's still up in the air as far as diplomatic relations go. We have no idea what the situation could be in just a week. Yes, and it's also incredibly exciting. Don't get too excited though, or else you're going to ruin your journey. It's almost done anyway. Yeah, what do you think? Lorem leaned over, holding up the paper to Ippe. Ippe looked at the paper closely, his gaze shifting back and forth between me and the paper several times. After a few seconds, he seemed to be finished with his evaluation. As a scientist, my professional opinion is that this part looks a little long. He pointed his sharp claw at the part of the paper Lorem was holding. Are you sure? Let me see. If I wasn't sure, I would have said it. I think you're right. That I am. Lorem reached for his eraser and pushing a few lines from the paper before he switched to his pen again. And it's done. See, what would you ever do without me? I don't think I'd hear as many explosions in the middle of the night. You were happy about it when you forgot to set your alarm that one time. Herp! Suddenly, the sound of an alarm resounded throughout the room.
experiment is done. And there he goes. Charming fellow, isn't he?
He sounds fun. Yeah, I can stand him. Yeah, right. Well, he sounds certainly fun.
He certainly keeps things interesting around here, and he's good art critic.
I can imagine.
Anyway, looks like we're done here.
Phew. It feels good being able to move again.
Would you like to stay for dinner? It'd be the least I can do to compensate for your last afternoon.
Let me see, what time is it? It's getting late, I probably shouldn't stay out this long. Looks like I'll have to decline for now.
I see. Well, I gotta do something for you at least.
Don't worry about it. Maybe some other time.
If you say so. Thanks for doing this at any rate. It's been a huge help.
Yeah, I know. Don't worry about it, really.
Alright.
I should really get going now.
Sir, take care.
Lorem is a fun fellow. Hey, Lorem.
Hey, Ippe.
So, where exactly are we going? You mentioned something about treasure hunting, but don't tell me we're actually trying to unearth some ancient human artifacts.
Don't worry, this is going to be fun.
I'll just hope for the best.
I'm not sure who came up with it, but someone gave this kit to me as a present a few months ago.
He showed me the map. It was a piece of paper that had obviously been treated to look much older than it really was. Doesn't look like much, sounds like fun. Come on, we're going treasure hunting. Sounds like fun.
I'm glad you agree.
I'm not sure if I can be of much assistance, so I don't exactly know much about the area.
But you're big and strong.
Well, thank you.
Or at least you are bigger and stronger than I am. You can do the digging.
Great.
Besides, I've wanted to do this for a while now, and Ippe is always busy, so I figured this would be as good a time as any.
Do we need to bring a shovel, or do you expect me to dig with my bare hands?
Well, the instructions say we only need this map and a pen.
I've got a pen. What about ourselves? Alright. Alright.
Great, then we're all set.
So where are we supposed to go?
If this is the facility, and the place indicated is the school.
Hold on.
Then the place indicated is the school, or rather somewhere between the school and the administrative building.
Let's go then. And like always, I read the sentences way too fast.
Here we are. The X on the map is right between these two buildings, so it must be around here somewhere.
Back to school, huh?
Not quite yet. Everyone's on summer break right now. Which is a good thing, because we really wouldn't want you to get swarmed by all the children. They would go crazy if they saw you.
How does school work here anyway?
Are you talking about this one or schools in general?
In general. In general. I'd like to know more about how your school system works as a whole.
I see you won't let a learning opportunity go by.
I'm just doing my job.
You should start looking for that treasure then.
Sir? While I looked for hints as to just whereabouts, Lorem started talking.
Right, We do have quite the education system. Different schools and districts run on their own, so when looking at details things can vary a lot. However, there are a few things that are true no matter which region you are in. Compulsory education lasts for about 10 years. There are a lot of options for schools and school systems. Choice is an important factor here. We recognize that there isn't one system that works best for everyone, so there are many options depending on what path you want to take.
That doesn't sound too different from what it used to be like in my world. But nowadays things are a bit more chaotic. Practical skills are valued most in our city, and you aren't really given a choice to do anything else. So our people can learn other things on their own, but it's not as if school is mandatory anymore. People just do whatever they feel like.
Did you grow up like that too?
No, I still got to experience our old education system, college included.
What was your favorite subject?
Math, art, physical education. From these, this one is a difficult one, really. When I was in high school, I remember liking physical education a lot more than when I was in elementary and middle school.
I see. My favorite was art class. Trying out different mediums was always so much fun. I tried sculpting again recently.
What for?
Art doesn't need a justification. But anyway, it helped me visualize what the characters in my game should look like.
Can't you do that with the computer?
Sir, working with a physical medium makes things easier for me. Instead of working with an interface, there's only my hands and a lump of clay. No technological gadgets required.
I see.
Did you find anything yet? I sure haven't.
No, I feel like we must be missing something.
Maybe, but the map clearly marked this place. You can see it for yourself.
Yeah, text definitely points to this ally.
Then it must be here somewhere.
Look inside the windows, investigate the water throw, examine the walls. Well, let's do it from this very order. Look inside the windows. Maybe it has something to do with the windows?
You think so?
It's as good a guess as any.
I suppose.
You can fly, right?
Sir?
Okay. You check out the windows on the left. You get a better view inside if you fly after them.
Alright.
As Lorem flew up to the window sill with a few flaps of his wings, I turned to the right to look inside the windows of the administrative building. The curtains were closed, but there was a small gap I could barely see inside. I got closer and closer, hoping to get a better view when my forehead bumped into the glass with a dull thud. I heard some movement behind the curtains. Suddenly they were drawn open to reveal a black dragoness who looked down on me with disapproval. In an instant, her expression changed to one of shock and surprise. Before anything else could happen, I quickly stepped away from the window outside her view.
Just empty classroom from my side. Did you find anything?
Nothing. Yeah, there was absolutely nothing to see. Investigate the water draw. Maybe it has something to do with the water draw and the faucets. Faucets. How is that pronounced?
Maybe. Let's check it out.
We walked over and looked inside the water draw. Inside the dirt was already a few inches high, a clear indicator that it hadn't been cleaned for a while.
I guess the janitor is on summer break too.
Or maybe they left it here on purpose because our treasure is inside.
It's all dried up though. Way too hard to start digging.
Maybe that's what the faucets are for. I don't know how that's pronounced.
If you say so.
We turn on the faucets and watch as the room slowly filled with water.
That should be enough.
And now?
We start digging. Come on, what kind of treasure hunters would we be if we didn't get our hands dirty?
I immersed my hands in the sludge. This is still pretty hard.
Let's turn on the water again then.
Lorem joined me. Water was dug around in the sludge, which slowly became clearer as more water filtered through.
Hey, I think I found something.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's stuck at the bottom.
Lorem's face was straining as he tried to pull harder and harder on the object he had found. Maybe I should try.
I think I got it.
Suddenly, his hands reappeared from beneath the murky water, holding a small shiny object in their grasp.
There it is.
What is it? He opened his hands to reveal a big screw.
Oh,
Maybe you should put that back.
yeah, maybe.
By now the water had become clear enough that he could see where the screw originally was. After a while, Lorem replaced it, we noticed that besides the water, the pool was completely empty. I guess it's not here after all.
But at least the janitor will be grateful for the cleaning.
Maybe. Examine the walls. Maybe it has something to do with the walls.
What makes you think so?
We're clearly missing something here, so maybe there is some sort of hint we are really overlooking. Something that wouldn't be obvious to anyone else who came through here.
I have no idea what you're talking about. These walls don't really look special to me.
My gaze slowly went along the walls, trying to find something, anything that could have a hidden meaning. Hey, look at that.
What do you mean?
That kinda looks like an X on the wall, don't you think?
I guess so.
Maybe it's here somewhere.
Look, there.
Lorem crouched down and stuck his hand in an indentation that ran along the wall near the ground.
Aha!
What is it? He pulled out a cylindrical shiny object and held it up to me.
It looks like some sort of capsule. Maybe there's something inside.
That's going to be a pretty small treasure. He screwed it open and held the two halves of the cylindrical object in his hands. To our surprise, it didn't have any empty space on the inside. Nothing could be hidden within. Instead, the inside of the two halves were engraved. What does it say?
2J.
That's it.
Yep, it's also the other half.
It might be coordinates.
The grid on the map had numbers and others like that. That means 2J would be here.
Right in the middle of a forest.
Let's go.
Finding our spot might be a bit more difficult from here on out.
Why is that?
We don't really have buildings and addresses as reference anymore. Here we only have a spot in the middle of the forest.
Don't worry, I have an excellent sense of navigation. Let's hope we find it before it gets too dark though, or things might become a lot more complicated.
I'd rather not get lost here.
You won't have to worry about anything. If there are any predators in the area, they'll see me as a better target than you.
Don't tell me there are predators in these woods.
Not really. There might be a stray or two, but that should be it. These woods are considered to be very safe.
Even if that's true, and if worst comes to worst, you can just fly away.
I guess that's true. You kinda sound like you don't have like woods though.
I like going for walks in the woods as long as it's safe. They're creepy. I like going for walks.
Then you don't have anything to worry about here. I already told you, there shouldn't really be any predators in these spots. And it's not like these woods are haunted or anything.
Haunted? That reminds me of something.
What is it?
Maybe you'll be interested in this. In our world there is a forest that was notorious for the many suicides that took place there. It was said to be haunted by angry spirits.
That sounds horrible. But why are there so many suicides there? And why are the spirits so angry?
Well, in Japanese folklore, people have a soul or spirit that is called Reikon. How is that? Well, I'd just say Reikon. Upon a person's death, the Reikon separates from the body and goes to a form of purgatory. After certain rites have been performed, the Rhaegon then goes on to join its ancestors and becomes a protector of the living family. However, under certain circumstances, like the rites not being performed correctly or dying in a sudden or violent manner, the Rhaegon transforms into a U-Ray instead. The U-Ray can return to the physical world and haunts it until it has been laid to rest. So there you go, another myth for your collection.
Well, I know where not to go for my next vacation now.
It's just a myth anyway, I wouldn't want to visit either. It's just a myth anyway.
I suppose.
What do you think about stuff like that?
Paranormal stuff? You know, until a few weeks ago, humans were still just a myth. And if we look at the portal, it's like something that came out of science fiction.
Ipsum certainly seemed interested in it.
He is. He actually read up on some new theories about it.
Like what?
You remember him telling you about the different branches and how the barrier separates them, right?
Yes.
So, since the barrier is made up of wormholes and using the portal displaces them, it leaves gaps in the barrier.
I distinctly remember him talking about something like that.
Through these gaps, he thinks we can communicate with our alternate selves in other timelines.
How does that work?
It all goes into the nature of existence itself. Who are you as a person? Do you think you are just the Ippe from this branch? What about the ones from all the other timelines who have made other decisions? Would you consider yourself to be the same person as them? The only difference between you and the Ippe from another branch may be that you decided to skip breakfast this morning. Maybe you are all of them.
Well, when it comes all the timelines we have seen in this game, well, I have gone through the portal again and again and again, so I'm still here. How is that possible?
Like a seed from which many roots can sprout, or a tree and its branches, there may be a uniting factor that branches off into these different timelines, your fundamental nature. You might call it a soul or something similar, but the idea is that even though there are many different versions of you, there is an aspect that unites all of you.
A part of myself that stands over me, kinda like a superego.
An interesting comparison. If you use a similar model here, then we can say that you are also made up of 3 distinct parts. In each timeline, you have a physical body which is driven by its own base desires that it seeks to fulfill, while physical needs like hunger, thirst and even breathing fall under this category. However, as a being with free will, you are also capable of making your own decisions. That includes being able to act contrary to what your body is telling you. This ability to think and make decisions on your own is your rational mind, the self. And lastly, there's the third part I just talked about, the one that stands above all of you and unites you in some way. Let's call this your higher self. Through this higher self, you may be able to communicate with your alternate selves in some way. Usually the barrier would prevent this, but through the gaps, communication becomes a possibility. The more gaps there are, the easier this should be.
And how would I go about doing that?
I suppose that would be the job for the higher self, of the higher self.
So I can't control it.
These are all just theories. We wouldn't really know until it happened. Only then could we study it.
If it was to happen, how would I know?
If someone else's experience gets relayed through this connection to you, it could manifest in a number of ways. Maybe it could be something like a deja vu, or a false memory, maybe even dreams. But the biggest difficulty would be to recognize that this phenomenon is happening in the first place.
It's certainly quite out there, you have to admit.
Sir, but quantum mechanics are already complicated enough. Once you look at what lies beyond, it's just crazy territory.
What do you think about all this?
I think it might already be happening.
Really?
Just think about it. If the possibility of it ever happening is there, then it's more than likely that it already has.
I'm not sure if I follow.
Let us assume that this is an average timeline. The portals have been found by both of our people, tunnel has been made, and now you and Rats are both here for a visit. A few letters were exchanged before you and Retsa were sent here, so that means the portal has already been used a few times. Using a portal once might only have an infinitely small effect on the barrier, like poking a hole in the castle wall with a needle. However, if you multiply this by a nearly infinite number of possible timelines in which these same events have happened, the effects must already be noticeable. Of course, some people may be more susceptible to this than others. I don't know. Do you think you've already experienced it? I don't know. I've been having some weird dreams lately. Dreams can always be weird though, me too. I know, it's just... I don't know. We were just entering clearing and from my view I could see some odd lines that had been drawn on the ground. Hey, I think this is the spot. Why do you think so? Well, the giant X on the ground kinda gives it away. Lorem threw fly with a flip-flop of his wings. After looking at the scenery from above, he returned to me. You're right, it does look like a giant X. Guess it's time to get our hands dirty again. That means that we did this for this time. What are you talking about? He went to the center where the lines crossed and picked up an object that was lodged halfway into the ground. He returned to me once more, holding another capsule similar to the one we had found near the school. If we had to go back to town after walking all this way, I'll... And it's open. Apparently we're going to 6K now. And where is that? There's an abandoned store on the other side of the forest. That's where we're going. That just means the way back is going to be even longer. Are you sure we should even be here? This is the place indicated by the map. I was talking about the building being roped off. Maybe that's just part of the game. Is the flooding part of the game too? Hey, you can give up if you want to. I certainly won't. Now, are you going to help me or not? I guess. I just didn't expect that I'd have to get wet for this. All part of being a treasure hunter. Let's just look for the eggs. Sir? Lorem flew up the light pictures to get a view from above while I checked out the shells. I remember when we could steal sharp here. What happened? Apparently, the area has a problem with flooding. I can see that. So much work and resources are needed to erect a building like this one, and in the end it just gets abandoned. We have plenty of empty buildings where I come from. Oh, really? Not sure this is a good reminder of home, though. At least we don't have a problem with flooding. I nearly got sent back, by the way. Really? Why? Political reasons. Oh, I don't think I'm supposed to talk about it. You just did. Is it related to that announcement they made about Retsa? Maybe. Huh, guess things are pretty serious. They are. Have you found anything yet? Not really. Maybe it's underwater. You think so? It's certainly not anywhere near the ceiling. I already checked there. And I found nothing near the walls or the shells. It could be hidden beneath a floor tile or something like that. I suppose you're right. Let's do it. Alright, if I have to. Alright. Treasure hunting is fun, even though the environment is like this. Without hesitation, Lorem vanished beneath the water's surface. I breathed in deeply, crouched down and began looking underwater as well. I looked around, but nothing seemed out of the ordinary to me. Just as I was about to rest and get some air, I heard a splash accompanied by a loud thud. What was that? Lorem? Everything was quiet as I looked around for my companion. Suddenly, I heard frantic knocks coming from a shelf that was lying on the ground.
pile submerged in the water. I realized that it was still standing when we came in earlier. As I waded over to it, it soon became clear that the knocks were coming from beneath. Lorem? Quickly I mustered all my strength and grabbed the shell, lifting me up until it fell over the water side with a loud splash. Lorem resurfaced, gasping for breath. What just happened?
I was looking underwater and suddenly the shells just came down on top of me.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I think so. My leg hurts a bit, but that's about it. But I totally saw something. Let me show you.
Without waiting for a reply, Lorem dove down into the water again, resurfacing just a few seconds later holding an ominous metal box that had a large X on it.
This should be it.
Let's hope it's waterproof though.
From the looks of it, it is. We should go outside though. It'll be hard to read anything in here.
Sure. So that's why Lorem wasn't... Why there wasn't an option for visiting Lorem lately, in the later parts of the game.
He drowned.
How many times did he drown before I did this? Well, what's inside? Lorem held out the box to me. I took one of the sheets of paper that were inside and started reading. I think these are pizza vouchers. Vouchers, however that is pronounced. Lorem was holding another sheet which he started reading aloud.
Congratulations! You have ordered Pantone's Pizza's annual treasure hunt. Remember the code word enclosed for an instant rebate on your next order and a chance for the grand prize. You could be the lucky winner for a year's supply of Pantone's Pizza. This competition will run until... Oh.
What is it?
It expired. The treasure hunt, the contest, apparently it all ended months ago.
Can we still get the pizza?
Well, I don't think that offer is still valid.
I mean, we could still get pizza regardless. This whole thing has made me really hungry.
I suppose this concludes our treasure hunt.
What do we do now?
Maybe you could see this experience as another reminder that the journey is its own reward.
Or that early bird gets the reward.
You really want some pizza, don't you?
That makes me wonder, though. Why did they get rid of the hints on this box when the contest expired?
They must have realized that people may still have these kits at home, even when the contest is over. If people went out looking for a hint in the woods and it wasn't there anymore, they might look for hours until they decided there was nothing to find.
Or they just didn't care. You know, I slowly started to lose hope in Pantoli's Pizza. Sitting us here is really... negligent, whatever. Who knows what would happen to you if I wasn't here? Well... we certainly know he would have drowned. Maybe this world building could crash down on the next unlucky people who end up here.
Maybe that's why it was roped off in the first place.
But you thought it was part of the game. Maybe they should put up a sign or something. While I was talking, Lorem walked towards one of the wooden poles that was used to rope off the building. He picked up a large rectangular object from the ground that was hidden in the grass. It was a wooden sign.
Warning, do not proceed past this point. The treasure hunt has concluded and there is nothing more to find. Danger ahead.
We could find the treasure but not this huge sign. What does that say about us?
I'm not sure exactly. We should probably head back before it gets too dark though. We still have to go through the woods again.
Alright, let's go.
Do you want to... do you want to pick up some pizza on the way home?
I don't know. Looks like I have some free time today. Can I help you? Yeah, I'm working with the police and hoped you could answer a few questions. Because I responded to your call for witnesses about last night, right? Yes. Alright, what do you want to know? Can you tell me what happened? By the way, are you going to meet with Lorem again anytime soon? I don't know. Why are you asking? You hang out with him a few times now. You see, he doesn't have many friends and I think he's starting to like you. That's not really unusual. It's just, if something happens the next time you meet, don't be mad at me, okay? Okay?
Hey, it's me. Do you want to meet up again? I know you're busy, but the summer festival is coming up soon. I'm not saying we should go, but we certainly could if you want to. In any case, call me back when you hear this.
Well, we certainly are going to see Lorem.
Hey.
Hey, Lorem.
So this is where you live?
You already got a glimpse when you delivered Red's letter, remember?
Yeah, but back then, I didn't really notice anything. I was nervous.
Why were you nervous?
Well, there was the fact that I was going to speak to a human, plus I didn't know if you'd actually listen to what I had to say. I then also wondered if I was going to remember everything I wanted to tell you, or worse, if I'd get run out again like when I talked to Redza.
You actually talked to Redza?
Well, not really. He just took the letter I had for him and closed the door. But that was before you were out here.
Do you know who sent the letter?
It came through the portal, so I assume it was from a human.
I see.
By the way, did you hear about Ippe? Apparently he's become a witness for a murder case.
Yeah, I actually took his statement about that not too long ago.
Really? Does that mean this has something to do with Redza's disappearance?
Don't really know who you deny it by this point.
How long have you been with the police anyway?
Since the day of my arrival, really.
Oh wow, I guess that explains why you've been so busy. I imagine you can talk about it though.
I don't really care anymore. Besides, I think it's become common knowledge by this point.
You're trying to find Redza, right? Wasn't he your friend?
No, it's alright to call him that.
Still, he was supposed to be a partner in this, and now he's just gone.
I'm more worried about what he's doing now. Even if we find him, this may put our diplomatic relationship in peril. I guess I shouldn't talk about stuff like that.
Why not?
It's no use worrying about things that I can't change.
Right, just focus on the things you can. That's my philosophy. You know, it's a bit of a shame you didn't want to go to the festival.
I already had my fair share of adventure the last time we met. Besides, I should probably lay low for now.
You're right. The guys will probably go crazy if they saw you. We could still watch the big fireworks show together, though. We wouldn't even need to go to the festival grounds to do that.
Or if you like.
It only takes place at the end of the festival, though.
When's that?
A few days from now.
You've been here a few minutes and already want to salute our next get-together?
Get-together? That's an odd way of phrasing it.
Would you prefer it if I called it a date?
I don't know. It just seems a bit odd to me, considering this all started with me begging you to meet me so I could draw pictures of you.
We did that, and then we went treasure hunting, which was your way of saying thanks.
What would you call what we are doing here now, then?
Dinner. I invited you for dinner.
I'm not seeing anything to eat here, though.
Right. That's because I wasn't sure about what's in the kitchen. I also don't know what you like, so let's just order something.
There are a few places nearby. Do you have anything in mind?
I'm not really in the mood to try something new.
Sure. How about pizza?
No, the pizza strikes back. Sounds good.
Alright, let's just go Pantolis then.
They already let us down with the treasure hunt. Why do you think this will be different?
They're the closest I had ordered from them in ages.
Maybe for a good reason. If they can't even get the treasure hunt right, I don't want to know what they do with their pizzas.
It's just a pizza, Ippe. How bad could that be?
Alright, if you want the moves for Pantolis, go ahead. Actually, I think I've got one of their menus here. Yep, here it is.
Let's see. Even their smallest pizza is going to be pretty big for me.
We could try one.
Sir, what type is what you like?
I think I accidentally said my words with Lorem's voice.
I think I'll go with salad.
Seriously, salad on a pizza? That's a new one, sounds interesting. I'll take that as well. Well, okay, that's a new one. I never heard of eating salad in a pizza.
Interesting, you have to try it?
I looked at the other options first.
Alright, what you like on your half?
Pepperoni grapes salad. Pepperoni.
Got it. I'll just place the order then.
Go ahead.
I'll get it.
Lorem got up and walked to the door. From my place on the couch, I couldn't see anything, but I heard a bit of talking before he returned to me carrying the square box.
The flyer who just delivered this, I actually know her.
I guess it's not unusual for you to know each other. Your jobs are pretty similar.
I suppose. Some things never change in this town.
Lorem opened the box and showed me the pizza we had ordered. Memories of days gone by raced through my head.
Alright, let's get this party started.
Don't we need more people for a party?
With pizza, anything is a party.
I feel like I haven't had a pizza like this in ages.
What are you waiting for then?
I took one of the slices. On its surface there was an obvious layer of grease that was sure to stain anything it came in contact with.
What do you think?
It's been way too long.
Guess you don't mind that we got Pantolis now, huh?
With these words, he grabbed one of the slices on his half and bit into it. After chewing a few times, his expression suddenly twisted into a scowl. Is something wrong?
Now I remember why I haven't ordered from Pantolis in a while. Their pizza sucks.
It's not that bad.
Maybe you just haven't had a good pizza to compare it to.
Hey, it's still better than nothing.
I suppose.
By the way, how's your gang coming along?
I don't know. I feel like I've hit a wall. Why is that? Maybe I got in over my head, you know. The more progress I make, the more it becomes apparent I'll need a lot more help than I thought.
So far you're the only one who's been working on this, right?
Yep, but I suddenly realized that it won't work out if I continue like this.
Why not?
It would never be done. Or if it was, it would be very different from what I'd like it to be. So something needs to change. I suppose I'm just worried, because once you start involving other people, things get a lot more complicated.
How so?
I've always been the odd one out, so I'm not sure how well I could work with a team. You had to find people, work out how to pay them, and how to divide the work. I guess I'm just starting to realize what kind of investment this would actually be.
You sounded a lot more optimistic the last time we talked about this.
Yeah, it's all fun and games when you're just thinking about ideas that you could turn into a game, but once you actually start working on it, it's a completely different story. At some point, it just becomes another job.
Isn't that what you expected?
Of course it is. I knew it would be a lot of work, but I guess I'm just not sure if it's all worth it.
That depends on why you're making it in the first place. Last time you said that you had nothing to lose either way.
Well, maybe I was wrong about that. I do have something to lose.
What's that?
Myself. I'm not sure if I'm ready to do what is necessary to finish what I started.
If you think about it, what's the worst that could happen?
Investing a lot of time and money, only to end up with nothing in the end. I could not disappoint those who play the game, those who collaborated with me, and lastly, myself.
That's what you're worried about?
That's what being a creator is like. If you put tons of work and effort into something, you want people to like it, right? If that's not what's going to happen, why do it in the first place?
But you're not doing it for other people, are you? It's your game and your idea, after all.
Right, but
You're not trying to cater to someone else, so what other people think is not important.
besides, what they think is outside of your control anyway. Just look at what happened with Pantolis.
Why do you think their pizza sucks?
They probably cut a lot of corners during the production and with the ingredients. They value quantity over quality and are only trying to get as many pizzas out as possible to satisfy demand. They are cheap and the pizza tastes like it.
Okay. But they are still in business, so this must be working out for them somehow. Even if you don't like it, they are offering something that other people clearly want. They probably don't give a damn about whether you or not you like their pizza.
I'm certain they don't.
They just give people what they want, and that's why they stay in business.
Are you saying that I would be successful if I don't cater to others?
No, I'm saying that unless being successful is the goal, you don't need to cater to anyone else. Because if you did, you would end up like Pantolis and you really would lose yourself.
I guess you have a point.
So what if other people like their greasy pizzas? That's not what you want to do.
Certainly not.
You said yourself that your philosophy is to focus on the things you can change. So what are your options here? A wise person once said, do or do not. There is no try.
Not doing this has never been an option for me.
Then you make the most of it and nothing else matters.
I think you're right. I should just focus on getting things done as best as I can.
Who knows, maybe you're wrong about Pantolis. Maybe they're actually a big family restaurant with a rich tradition and history, and that's why people like them.
No, I think it's just because they had cheap pizzas. Anyway, there's a good reason for my anxiety. I usually keep it to myself, and that's always how I work the best. If there's one thing that life has taught me, it's that people feel what they don't know. I guess that's an odd thing to say, but humans are worshipped by many. Most of them don't actually know any humans. Not like I know you. Maybe I should rephrase that. People are afraid of what they don't understand. I was bullied a lot when I was a kid.
I can relate to that.
You know, it can be pretty tough when you're growing up and all the other kids are always bigger than you are.
I think I already said I can relate to that.
Luckily, that was not a big problem for me. Even in kindergarten, we get told not to make fun of our difference because of how different our species are. It's just odd that for a society that celebrates our differences, there are still things that are too different even for them. When I grew up and went to college, I thought that people would know better than to continue doing those horrible things, but I was ultimately proven wrong. Their bodies may have been those of adults, but their hearts had stayed in the same place they were a decade before. Working on my own has helped, but that is creating a symptom, not the cause of the problem. I can't always just run away, and I have to step into the limelight and brave the storm again if I want to finish this game. There's something about me that you don't know. In a way, I owe it to tell to you. I owe it to you to tell you, because you're going to find out sooner or later anyway, and when it happens, it should be on my terms rather than someone else's.
What is it?
I'm a hermaphrodite. I was born with both sets of sex organs, and before you ask, that is not something that is at all common in any of our dragon species. In the eyes of some, that makes me a freak of nature, something that needs fixing, or shouldn't exist in the first place.
I don't mind, I'm not sure what to say, get out. Are you serious? After Lorem has told me quite serious things, and this thing he doesn't want to talk about, I say get out. Are you serious? No way. I'm not sure what to say. I don't mind. The truth is, I don't mind. Lorem is a good friend.
You don't?
Sir, some people may think that it's odd, but I don't really care. Absolutely I don't care. Lorem is a good friend. What's the matter if he's... what was the word again? I don't remember. I don't care. Lorem is a really good friend. It's just another part of who you are. Exactly.
Thank you. That's such a big relief. You know, it's not always the bullies who go after me once they know. Too often, it's also been people who I thought were my friends. So whenever I meet another person, I have to prepare myself for this conversation, not knowing whether they will sort of turn against me when they find out. And the reactions can be very different. Some get angry and make fun of me. Others feel betrayed and don't want to have anything to do with me anymore. By now, I think I've seen it all. I'm so glad that you're not like them, but it's always a gamble. Maybe the next person I tell is going to become violent. How can I put myself out there when this could happen wherever I go? You know what I mean. What will people do when they find out about me and my game? I just don't know. That's what I'm worried about. I only wish there was a place where I could be safe from all of that, where it just wouldn't matter that this is who I am. Is someone like you, someone with a place of authority, say something, maybe that could change things? I know you can't interfere with our politics though. You're an ambassador. Doesn't mean I don't have hope that something like that will happen one day. I should probably go now. It's getting late. You've made me feel a lot better though. You told me not to worry about the future and maybe you're right. Sir, there is still a lot of work ahead, but maybe it's not hopeless as I thought.
It never is.
Hey, do you still want to see the fireworks show together?
Sir?
Alright, just give me a call in a few days so we can discuss the details.
I'll do that.
Alright, I'll see you then.
See ya. It seems like every one of them has something after all. Remy's background story, Anna's, Lorem's, Bruce and Udan. They all have. They all have. But I can relate to Lorem. I was bullied too. Hey Lorem.
Hey, Ippe.
You were right. This will be much better than mingling with the crowds. I can do without all the extra noise and screaming.
Yep.
So what are we going to do now?
Wait. I think it's starting. Look.
We were quiet as we waited and the stillness of the night enveloped us. Soon I heard the first rocket make its way into the night sky after which it exploded in a pattern of colors. More rockets followed. Their thunderous noise echoing throughout the land. Suddenly a terrible realization hit me. Considering how public of an event this was and how I was told multiple times that everyone would be watching the fireworks, now would be the best time for Red to do anything he had planned to do. Not only was the village basically deserted, but the sounds of fireworks would also overshadow any gunshots, giving as much security as he would ever have, as the border had been repaired by the mysterious person I met. Now was the perfect time for Red to make his getaway, and I was the only one who knew. Lorem, I think we need to go, now.
What's going on?
I know where Red is.
Really?
We need to stop him.
What do you think I can do? He's twice as big as I am, and let's not forget about his weapon.
I can try to hold him off. You go and get help.
Alright. Where is he anyway?
The underground building. Let's go. I arrived at the port just a few minutes later. I couldn't help but be glad it was still turned off and it appeared to have been used recently.
Maybe I can.
Suddenly, Maverick and Lorem appeared next to me. You planned this, didn't you? Traitor! I don't think I'll let you distract me with such a cheap trick, just because I thought there was still a shred of humanity between you. He pulled out his gun, not sure which one of us he should be aiming at. Just let me go and I'll forget this thing ever happened. You've got 6 bullets for 3 people. Do you think you can really do that, Redson? Do you think this is worth risking your life for? I've been risking my life for this every day for the last 2 weeks. What did you do with that time? Ship jump on in your nice apartment? Besides, this generator and the whole building came from our time. They belong to humanity! Suddenly, the administrator came up with the doors in the hallway behind Redson. No, they belong to me. Confused, Redson spun around, having his gun as the newcomer would slowly walk towards him. Who the f*** are you? Freeze! I said freeze! Want to waste your words on me? Feel free. You can stop all of us. If you say so. He pulled the trigger and the administrator fell to the ground without thought and knocked her mask off. My first instinct was to run away, but as Maverick and Lorem started shouting, so did I. Redson was quick with his aim and shot at Maverick until he went down. Lorem took flight with a few beats of their wings and was about to collide with Redson, but at the last moment, Redson got out of the way and hit Lorem with a well-aimed kick. In an instant, Redson was aiming at me. I quickly dove behind the box with the generator for cover, just before he pulled the trigger. While I was unharmed, a loud hiss suddenly started emanating from the box. I knew what was going to happen, and quickly started running towards the exit. Just as I reached the outside, the explosion battered my ears. The shockwave sent me flying briefly before I roughly collided with the ground. My vision blurred instantly and all control left my body as I slowly closed my eyes. I awoke to the sight of Redson aiming his gun at me. What the heck did you do at the portal? To the portal? What are you talking about? I didn't do anything. Why can I use it then? And what happened to the coordinates? The dragon should know that much about the portal, so it must be you or that girl. You better give me something or else I have no reason to let you live. It was her. Who is she? I don't know. They must send her to after you. The only question is why. You were the one who suddenly vanished. Maybe that's why they sent her. I had my plan and humanity was fine with it. You must have told them something that changed their minds. I haven't been in contact with them since the day you arrived here. I've got nothing to do with her. I just wanted a diplomatic solution. That was the plan. You weren't supposed to know anything about what I was doing. If humanity knew, why would they send her then? That's what I've been asking myself. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't really matter anyway. She is the only one who knows how to use portal again. And now that you've killed her, we're both stuck here. You've got something to do with this, or else you wouldn't be so smug about it. No, I just like seeing you fail. Stop denying it. You're going to fix this right now, or I'll find ways to make you talk. Nothing you can do or say will change what's coming now. What's that? Turn around. Redson glanced back over his shoulder just in time to see Maverick running towards him. He turned around, aiming his gun in Maverick's direction. Before he could fire, I grabbed his hand in an attempt to disarm him, but in the scuffle a shot went off and I suddenly found myself in a world of pain. I collapsed to the ground, still holding the gun. Maverick pounced and pinned Redson to the ground with all his weight.
What are you going to do now, Redson? Not so strong anymore without your weapon, huh?
The voices faded as I watched the sky. My vision turned red, making it look like as if the stars were bathing in a sea of blood. I resigned to my fate as I closed my eyes. Redsa was apprehended and taken to jail. As communication between our worlds was no longer possible, humanity never learned of our fate in this timeline. They had decided that if our visit did not yield any results, they would no longer try their luck with the portal, and instead use their remaining energy to hold on as long as they still could. It was an uphill battle that was eventually lost when the city ran out of resources and fell. Redsa warned the dragons of the comet and its danger, but without the generators for the underground building, their plan to redirect it ultimately failed. Well then. Now this certainly was a bad ending. Lorem is dead. The administrator, I guess she met her fate in the explosion too. I'm dead. Vision turned red and everything. Redsa is dead. Bad ending. Bad ending indeed. You have seen Lorem's bad ending. And there's a Lorem shadow. Well then. This was Lorem's bad ending then. And next time we will see his good ending. This is Ippe, and we see you in the next video.